I am Thor, son of Odin, and as long as there is life in my breast, I am running out of things to say.
Great, another broken white boy for us to fix.
That's my secret, Cat.
I'm always angry.
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are. With great power comes great responsibility. I can do this all day.
Wakanda Forever!
Well, also, no, as far as I know, no, beyond like the artwork, the mural and things like that. There might be further allusions, like we may see the ancestral plane again. I mean, we've touched upon all the different planes when you watch all the Disney Plus shows. And then, of course, we haven't seen the ancestral plane since the first Black Panther. So I feel like, especially if you're talking about funeral processions and funeral rites and all this other stuff, they might touch upon it once more. I don't know if they're going to see Chadwick, though. And I think it would be weird, actually.
I definitely don't think we're going to get CGI of Chadwick or anything
I don't want to.
I don't even think we're going to get like a body double or anything like that. I think if I were to guess, one of two things would happen. One will probably be like the traditional black screen text, and it'll just be like, we lost our king or something. Wakanda is good. Some type of prelude text to give people introductory background, or they might do what they did in the first movie with the animation and stuff, the way that they kind of told the story of Wakanda and the history. They might do it that way too. So I think we'll get something like that, but I definitely don't think we'll get anything live action, because I think that would be
that open animation. Would be
I
nice.
don't.
I hope they tell it that way.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I mean, it's just a trailer, but I think there's ways to do all the stuff that we've talked about, and do it in a way that people would like. Like, I don't think anything's impossible. I think you could just show the suit and be like some heroic 5-minute intro, and he gave up his life to save Wakanda, and people would be like, okay, I get it. And you don't have to have him talk or anything. There's a bunch of ways to do it. I just trust Ryan Coogler and them to get it done the right way. I don't anticipate leaving this movie like, damn, they totally didn't even care. Like, I just don't expect that's gonna happen. So I'm not worried about that.
They really CGI'd him in for the whole movie. Like,
right, yeah.
Could I ask a question for the panel?
He did Dougie for a little bit.
Emann has a question.
I just got a question for the panel. Do y'all have, does it make a difference, or is there anything off limits in how they make him pass away, if that's the route they go?
You said how they...
Yeah, because, Rod just said dying in battle, trying to say, some... Like, is there anything like off limits,
so
or
tight.
are y'all just kind of like,
I don't
whatever?
know, man. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't anticipate them not knowing what we thinking. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm willing to be shocked. That's all. I'll be in the theater with my hands over my mouth if they do something crazy with T'Challa. We'll be like, what? He got a white woman and left his country. We'll all be shocked together. Cause we know that, cause I just don't expect Ryan Coogler would drop the ball like that. I mean, people are gonna fight about it because it's a movie and it's the internet, so people are gonna fight no matter what happens, but I don't anticipate them really giving us some like, we dropped the ball for black people shit.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything could do.
The only thing I can think of is which is again a stretch, but in the comics I thought it was always strange that Wakanda could heal everything but T'Challa's mother's sickness. So the only thing that they could randomly do is say that he died of the same illness that his mother had.
Right.
It's the only thing I could think of.
Ron, I wanted to go ahead. You had something to say.
No. Go,
I was
just going to say, on that note, though, like I was going to say, that's the only thing I definitely don't want to see is like something too close to the reality that we know. It's like, we don't need it to be. This movie, like we've talked about today, it's going to be cathartic in many ways. It's going to be an emotional journey, and hopefully gives us some closure, some sense of our own personal closure. But I definitely don't want it to be a little too close to home. I think they've got to stay away from that.
I agree. I totally agree with you.
I don't know. I say like what Rod and Karama said on that. Like I trust Ryan on that. Like
Yeah, I mean, trust notwithstanding, he's just saying you still don't want to see.
Yeah, I feel you. I just like it ain't like like how they did in it like Thor, where I was like, ooh, that was
that's also
made
canon,
me feel
but
gross. Yeah, but how it was handled made me feel gross. Like when I read the comments, I didn't feel gross. Yes.
I think it's like we all have to remember to that, like your point about like the production designer Hannah Beachler doing that. Like they care. Everyone involved in this cares more, at least, about Chadwick than we do. I mean, as much as we love him, he was a huge impact on all our lives. Obviously, we talked about how we never cry, but all same thing. I never get emotional talking about celebrities, but it impacted me personally. But Ryan, Lupita, Winston, they all care just as much at a minimum as all the fans do. So I have no doubt that it's going to be handled in the right way, and probably with the blessing of his family. So absolutely. I trust him from that perspective.
Well, whether or not this is actually going to end up in the actual finished film, based on the trailer, was there anything that Ron, that you saw, or even Emann, you guys saw that you feel like no one caught or no one's like making enough noise about? I know, like we saw all the Wakandan alphabet and everyone, including Karama, furiously translated everything out. And I know, like for example, in the mural, it says something to the effect of, like our Black Panther, or our Black Panther lives within everyone type of translation. But like, was there anything there where you're like, you know what, no one's really paying attention to this, and this is going to be important?
I just like the blue skin of the Atlanteans. So they apparently they have a breathing device, because everybody's not like Namor. They're not biracial, so they need the breathing device, because like when they're in the water, they have, normal complexion or whatever complexion if is normal for them. But when they come out of the water and they have it on, they turn blue. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I thought that was a nice little setup for, is it a tomb? Is that how y'all pronounce it?
Atuma.
Atuma? Okay.
There's an A on the end, right?
I want to make sure it wasn't Atuma, but Atuma? Okay.
Is it Atuma?
I say Atuma.
Okay. Also.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we was on the same page. But yeah, I just like the blue skin. I thought that was kind of dope.
Yeah. I did see someone, they had like an old school comic showing like Namor and his people, and it was, and again, it could just be the limitations of the comics at the time, or that really was their color, but they were blue swimming alongside fish and stuff like that. So
yeah, I thought it was like a racial thing. Like some of them were blue, some weren't, but
it could be too.
I didn't read the Namor comic.
Are you saying they turn blue now when they come out?
This is conjecture.
Okay, because I saw the same character underwater, and she was like, pink or brownish, whatever.
Yeah,
and then when she was in the street and she had a breathing device, she was blue.
Yeah,
which
it's Namora.
I was going to say Namora. It's Namora.
No, but there's also Namorita. There's Namora and Namorita. There are two characters.
Right. I mean, that would make sense with
Namora is what's his name's mom or woman, right? That's Namor's wife. Namorita is his is the one who's in the New Warriors.
They could have also changed it.
And they changed her name, right? She's not Namorita. She went by something else. But the one we see in the trailer is Namora in the trailer.
Yeah, Namora.
They're not bringing in Namorita. That name is wild.
The other thing about the breathing apparatus, though, I think, and I it was just a still frame, but it also looked like when they were on land, the breathing apparatus had water in it.
Which would make sense, right?
Yeah.
And it also makes sense about the whole skin thing, right? Like when you're underwater, you breathe water, that's how you get your oxygen. You oxidize, so that's why your color is your color, versus when you're up here, you're devoid of your breathing or your oxygen, and you turn into colors. Kind of just reverse of what people would do. If you suffocate, you turning blue. So
I got something too. Oh, I'm sorry, Green. Go ahead.
No, you go first.
It's niggas with guns in this trailer, and no one's brought it up yet.
That was completely off from what I was saying, but go ahead.
Okay, But who are these niggas with the guns? They got the Wakanda scientists at gunpoint.
Listen, if Ross is involved, so I immediately was like, Americans, and here to fuck shit up once again.
Yeah,
and maybe I don't know. Ross the cool one.
Not only were there men with guns, but then you also see that other shot of Ramonda with her crew. I think it might be the Hattusarase back at the UN, and they're all putting their mics down. Like, we're not playing with you anymore.
Yeah.
So I think that it's all. I think it's about vibranium, like y'all were saying earlier. That's why you saw some of the people there trying to like mine it. They had their own offshore mining thing, trying to get from the ocean because there's several different kinds of vibranium. They're probably trying to get more, and they might have an agreement with Namor to do it, but the military is probably trying to get it too, because there was something on fire behind or Smokey or whatever behind Ross. So if the UN or the US are trying to go find Namor, because remember, when the dudes show up, they seem to be mad surprised that there's people there, and the girl, when she touches the wall, he's like, what did she do? Now, granted, the Dormilaje come in and help later, but I think the American military, they broke their promise. They were like, you know what? We don't like you being the superpower. And we coming to get all of this.
That's yeah.
And they lied. Maybe they lied to Namor, and maybe they turned Namor against Wakanda, and then he finds out
maybe the
later.
American government lied.
Right,
yeah, that sounds
they do
about
what Americans
right.
do. They destabilize one nation and make another nation go after the other. And
yeah,
that's exactly.
And then in the end, they team up.
Is Ross don't be the villain?
I don't think so.
Not. I mean, because we passed that point where he was the play villain, and then he became friends, and then he, so I think we're past him. I think he might.
He came to the cookout.
Yeah,
he'll be used.
He's a token white dude. He's gonna be fine.
I'm not inviting him.
He'll probably be. He probably gonna be at the funeral and everything.
Wow, he's CIA dog.
Okay.
They love the one guy trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. He still got to hold that. He's still CIA. He's still.
How many shows do we have of the rogue CIA operative who's being
none of
controlled by the government? It's the same story.
No, I hear what you're saying, Ron.
I don't watch none of them shows. Oh no, but I do have a question because I kept watching it, and when they're showing Namor being born, right, the man is blue underwater. The woman is, Caucasian skinned,
but she's human.
She's tan.
She's not blue.
Yeah, not blue. But she also doesn't seem to have a mask on.
No, but she wasn't that far underwater.
So you think she just
yeah, I think they were very, because I was like, that's a lot of light to be that far down.
Yeah, no,
but it seemed to be very shallow. So I think
shallow.
She could stand up and breathe and then squat and push. That's what I think she was doing.
I bet it's
tied. Push, right? You don't need to do it. That's a little extra.
I bet it's tied to some real cultural shit too. We're gonna find out that really happened in some culture or something.
Right, you're right.
It's a lot of babies that get born underwater.
I know that.
When I last checked, you got to squat to do it.
I just know how Ryan Coogler
and
had
a little shallower water then. They making it hard on
kiddie pool.
Yeah, they making it mad hard on her. It's not that deep.
I just know how Ryan Coogler thinks, and then we're just gonna end up with a history lesson at that point.
I actually am very interested in that and the whole Mesoamerican Mayan, because I remember thinking that was, I thought that was an image of Quetzalcoatl, and then somebody corrected me. They were like, no, that's Aztec. This is the Mayan version. We all had a snake. And I'm like, and it's just really, really, so that I'm really looking forward to getting into that. And I've seen some people, I will say this though, I've seen some people like, yo, this is our movie. Why they gotta be in it? And I'm like,
wow,
I'm not having that. Not on my page anyway.
Oh,
so
I'm
just like, we did have our movie, but what? This is the first time. I mean, look at how Tenoch Huerta was on stage. He was like, this would never, this is inclusion. And that people read it wrong. They thought he was saying no woman, no cry. They think they're talking about a man, but they're talking about a woman. They read it wrong. It wasn't about Marvel being inclusive. It was about the Black Panther crew and Coogler being inclusive. And I think a lot of people missed that. And it's
but why would they be mad about him saying that is?
Ben, why would anyone be mad about anything because you're miserable? Okay,
there you go.
We're gonna wrap up.
The comments just went through the roof right there.
Whatever. We're gonna wrap up, but I just wanted
and this was the exact moment when
I wanted to give everyone time to get in some last thoughts. Ron, I know you need to go soon, so I just wanted to hear from you, any just last thoughts overall, what you thought about the trailer, what you're gonna expect or excited about the film, or anything else.
Yeah, again, thank you for having me so much. I really appreciate being part of the team. And I can't wait for multiple conversations over the next few months, but both excited and anxious about this emotional journey that I think these next few months are going to be for all of us. I think it's going to be tough. And I do hope, our previous conversation, that it's really important for all of us to make sure that whatever communities we're a part of is positive, that we're really fighting back against that kind of toxic negativity. All of us have a responsibility to be good stewards of that, no matter where we stand on certain positions. So may we all support each other and be vocal on that, on stamping down that kind of negativity. And the last thing I'll say, I had a chance to talk with Winston Duke after Hall H, and he was a giant
flex.
man.
I mean, do it.
You gotta.
Yeah,
it's on.
Pick that up. Did you pick up that name you dropped? It fell behind you.
Listen, I got a pocket full, Rod, so I'm ready if you want it. Because that's how I roll strong. But the Nerds of Color.
Did you have
Ron talks his shit, bro?
Yeah, boy. Ron been waiting all episode for this.
Ron was at San Diego Comic-Con, y'all. Okay, he knows some people in
the
thing.
whole time.
Did you have to stand on a chair to talk to him? Because he looks like he's giant.
But you were talking to Winston Duke.
Yes, and it was on behalf of the Nerds of Color, which is an outlet that I collaborated with, and so thank you for them. But what he said was that the story, to Cameron's point, is the Black Panther story and Chadwick's story is all about inclusion. That he wants audiences to see that that's what we care about. It's not just about any one people. That it's all about inclusion and us coming together and supporting each other. So I'm excited to see that message come out and be played out on screen. And yeah, I just can't wait. I hope this is the first film with such a cultural moment for all of us. Of course, the Black community first and foremost, but all of that's why I'm here today. You know, yes. As an Asian American, that it moved me and it showed me like, look, we can have an incredible film like this with diverse cast and with an all Black cast and story. So I want to see more of that. And I hope all communities come out and really support this film. And I hope it's something we can all share.
Absolutely. Well said, Ron.
Yeah.
Before we go on to the next person, Ron, just let everyone know where they can find you and continue the conversation with you.
Yeah, you can find me at POC Culture on all socials, on Instagram, on Twitter. And I hope you check out my work at POCculture.com.
All right. Congratulations on being a Rotten Tomato critic. Yay!
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Ben, what were you about to say?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, and back on Ron's point, is that's really what I remember. We said this at the end of the first one. We were like, yo, this is what we want for every community. You know, we want every community to have this moment where everyone's like, yo, I went up on screen, I was represented. And like, that bugs me, Cameron, that people were even like, I mean, I watched some of the speeches and stuff, but like, I'm not worried about what they're saying there. You know, like if dude says more inclusion, like, and then they gonna be like, like what? Like this is the brown brother. Like, you know what I mean? Like
folks that are like, yo, they shouldn't be in this movie. And I'm like,
wow.
Gatekeeping is ridiculous.
But we let Ross in the first one?
Flip through the back
miserable is what I said. People's miserable.
I honestly did not know about that.
Make it make sense.
And over what he said.
But also, when are y'all gonna realize?
No, just in general, not just over what he said.
Oh, just fuck it, like fuck it. Yeah. Just off the break.
Right. But why are there Latinos in this film? And or Mexican Americans in this film? And I'm like, that's
also when are y'all being the general public gonna realize that everybody and their mamas is gonna be in a Marvel film when this is all said and done in 30 years. I'm gonna be in a motherfucking Marvel film, okay? Like at the end of the day, everybody in that bitch, they are equal opportunity capitalists. When are y'all gonna learn that?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Disney capitalism.
You know it. One other thing nobody brought it up, and I just saw it today for the first time, was Shuri's carrying the helmet in that procession. When they're walking in all white.
She's carrying Black Panther's
helmet. It broke me today when I saw that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see the movie twice because I know the first time is just going to be me trying to see it through tears.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be able to make nothing out. So I'm going to have to see it 2 times just to see what happened.
And I also want to say to Emann, like, I feel you, bro, because, like, you know, like I say, that was one of the tenets that I had a problem with, because I was like, no matter what they do, they're going to profit off his death. But at the same time, when I saw the trailer and I'm like, he's there, it hurt me. I don't know, but like I also say, I don't know any way around this. You know, that's what I keep telling people. Like,
you don't know any way around the pain, but that's the point.
Yeah, we gotta go through it.
You can't run from the pain.
Like right now, and that's why I was happy that he went full ahead. Like, nah, you know, like y'all gonna get it from the first trailer. You know, we're not going to dance around this. We're not going to dodge it. And that's like, I think this was brought up earlier, like if they just simply had recasted, which I know you personally weren't really one, but I know some people are like, no, I'm boycotting this movie because they're not recasting right now. And I'm like, if they just done that and we go to the theater and it's like Here's Black Panther.
It would sully everything, and
it would feel so weird. Like
it would be self-defeatist.
I think the multiverse thing would be pushing it, but I don't care there. If they do it, it's like hopefully the story works. Do it. Bring back T'Challa. It's fine. But if they'd done it in this one, I would have been like, wow, y'all some greedy bastards.
How do y'all feel about how they handled How do y'all feel about how they handled T'Challa so far in the like what if universe and stuff like that? Because that's still posthumous.
Yeah, I mean, it was posthumous, and I think that because he voiced it, it was just like it was just a nice. It was something he did before he passed, so and we expected that, and then just to see it was just like kind of like a cherry on top type of thing. Like there wasn't a negative or any other thought. Just oh man, this is great. It's Chad.
Right.
We got to see. Yes, it's a different version of him in a different multiverse, but it's Chad.
I saw an image. I wasn't sure if it was from season 2. It was from somebody talking about season 2, and Space T'Challa was in it.
Yes, I saw the same image and I had the same question. But
and I was like,
really?
Yeah, and I was like, please let that have been, just an old image from season 1, because I was like, that was even worse than the trailer, man. That was like, ugh.
Now, Eamon, I do agree with you there. Like seeing him in season 2 of that is weird because if we do hear his voice, we will know it's an AI like Darth Vader's was in Obi-Wan. Like they sampled James Earl Jones' voice and they credited him, but that wasn't him in the booth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just recasted him in What If. I mean, they've already recasted
animation, so.
current, right?
Yeah,
and
I can see that.
They change voices of animation all the time.
Multiple universes. They even said, I think we're getting a different Peggy Carter this time around versus. So, and for me, the What If stuff is kind of so up there because it's literally the nature of the narrative.
The nature of
it was definitely a cherry on top to get them.
The nature of animation is that voice actors change all the time. Like even just from Jump Street, some of those characters were not voiced by the original actors, right? They were voiced by voice actors. I don't know. Remember, RDJ was even part of it. He probably was not. It was somebody else.
Tom Holland wasn't around for none.
Tom
of that,
Holland wasn't right, and no one was batting an eyelash because that's the nature of the narrative. That's just how animation goes. So no big deal there.
And man's like, y'all got me playing Spider-Man enough.
Karama, what are your any last thoughts that you had just about the trailer, the movie, anything around this?
This is a teaser trailer, and I love it when they do this because we get these 2-minute teaser trailers, and then when the real trailer drops and they put all the scenes in order, and
they blow up everything we said,
right, and they blow up. So I agree. I agree with Rod. They lied.
Basically, all this was bullshit we just did for an hour and a half.
Yeah. We just wanted to talk about Black Panther, y'all.
Right, yes, exactly. But I'm very excited to see the two things that I don't want to see in this movie. I don't want to see either Aneka or Namor die. I want them both to live so that we can see them in other iterations.
That would be
cold-blooded.
It would be
but here's the thing.
If they killed him, that'd be a waste.
But
God
Marvel
damn.
has done this before.
They killed Waleed. I mean, I say like he was a major character.
Or kill Namor's wife.
Who was Waleed?
Kill Namor's wife or something.
That's the point, Benhameen. Miss Marvel?
Miss Marvel.
Your man, the Hollywood star that they killed in the
man. Sorry, dog. Like I don't. Sorry to this man.
All the smoke.
Sorry to this man.
Sorry to this man. Stupid.
I'm sorry, Kara. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I just think that it's. I am excited to see the film. I think they got us with this teaser trailer in terms of emotion. I think the trailer that we're going to see, and I believe we're going to see it at New York Comic Con. I'm just putting it out there. It would make sense if during their panel at New York Comic Con they drop the actual, what do they call the main trailer or whatever,
the final version 3,
the official trailer, right?
Yeah.
Before you see all the TV versions,
right?
I think we're going to see more of a fleshed out story there in chronological order, and we're all going to be like, and we still won't believe it, but
you shouldn't.
But I think that what this trailer did overall was just like the last song. It's gonna be all right. Like we got this. Kugler's got this. It's gonna be emotional. It's gonna be a ride. Bring all the tissues, but we're gonna be all right.
Somebody,
go ahead, Ben.
sorry, real quick. Somebody pointed out that Bob died from cancer early, but at the same time always pointed out, like you said, Jeremy, that things would be all right, and that was something just because I know Emann, like a lot of people when I was in your spaces last night were like, how could people watch this and be happy afterwards, because they're like, every image of this is sad. Shuri's crying. This person's crying. This person's crying. And I'm like, but that's the point. Like, they're all going through it like we're going through it. So, it's like you could, it's like, when you're sad, you play a sad song because, you're like, well, damn, somebody else can relate to what I'm going through right now.
It's called emotions.
Yeah.
You can have different emotions. Or
I would
different
just
times.
say, since they're not here to defend themselves.
Yep.
And I've said this in the spaces too.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody grieves different.
Yeah.
And I said from the jump, like a lot of people obviously that have been pro recast, they grieved when Chadwick passed, and over the time, the years or whatever, they're like, we don't want to have to redo that again. Like we cried our eyes out.
Yeah.
We did it. We don't want to do it again. But some people need to do it again collectively, as you guys mentioned. So, and that's why I've said from the jump, like, I'm not going to attack nobody's feelings.
We were like, man, people were in our thing making jokes, like, what if it's a white dude underneath the suit?
Well, that's also black people, right?
But it was hilarious.
We joke about everything.
I thought it was. I'm like, no, go for the jokes.
That's also why. That's why we have funerals.
Yep.
Right.
Because you hear about somebody dying, and sure, you grieve when you hear they
who
died,
did the body.
There's a collective community moment that we acknowledge this together before we just move. Before we can move forward, and I think, I don't know, the trailer made me feel like we're going to acknowledge that.
And also just the concept, the African through the diaspora concept of funerals, going home service, being a celebration.
Yes.
A lot of people say, some people are questioning why they're wearing white. A lot of, yes, it's done here in Southern communities, but also it's a very African thing to wear white. I wore white at my father's funeral. Like, it's a thing that you did. It's done, and the family especially. But this is a community that all. And then you saw on the side, they were all dancing along with the other dancers, and they were singing. And there's gonna be, and I'm sure it's gonna be emotional. But think of like the New Orleans walk. So there's certain things in this
second line. So think. There's going to be a lot of hot takes, just like we saw with the first movie, that are going to be culturally wrong.
Yeah.
Well, definitely.
Why were they dancing?
Right.
But
here's
also,
5 reasons.
I also don't, and this is just kind of my final thought on everything and all that. I just want people to avoid that, because someone came up with the term a few years ago, the Wakandification of Africa and all this other stuff. And that was because they didn't like what they saw in terms of the bringing in and in some ways an amalgamation of many different African cultures, religions, things like that. But it was
is
right now. I could see if it was done in an like an Orientalism type of approach, right, where you're just saying, well, this is that, and this is a stand-in for something else. That's not what this is, and that's the part I hope people see the second time around. If you didn't get it the first time around, which has been years at this point, this is about love of culture. Yes, there are different pieces of Black American culture. There's different pieces of Ghanaian culture. There's different pieces of Nigerian culture. There's different pieces of cultures from all over the continent and of all over the world. We're talking about a diaspora, right? So you talk about there might be Black Mexican influence. Like, the point is that there's going to be Black influence in and throughout the DNA of this film. Has been, always will be, as long as Ryan Coogler is in charge and as long as that team is generally involved. So I just want people to realize that before, we get the arguments that you said earlier about, well, we don't do it there. We know that this is a film. It's fiction.
It's not like they bring in Taika Waititi in the
Don't.
It's gonna be serious.
Please don't.
Ooh.
Don't.
Both Rod and Eve, man, did you guys have any final thoughts about Black Panther or Wakanda Forever?
I got 3, but Eban, go first.
No,
man.
go ahead,
you got
bro.
this. You sure?
Yeah.
All right, I will. Number 1, funerals also can be fun. Like, Black people put the fun in funeral. Like, if you've ever seen a BET funeral and people live tweet it, that's a party.
We seen Aretha's funeral. That, first of all, Aretha's funeral lasted 16 hours.
And people didn't know what's happening. We're like, say you've never been to a Black church.
Right. So,
and the jokes were ridiculous and terrible.
Yeah, I don't buy that the whole movie has to be like completely like sad and depressing just because we're gonna deal with death. So I think, those people were probably just tripping. Two, no one's talked about it, but I'm looking forward to see what they do with the soundtrack.
Yes, thank you.
You just, Rod, when y'all was talking about Ryan and how black he is, I was like, what Bay Area legend are we gonna get in this joint? We had Too Short in the first one. I need some 40 water up in this joint.
Come on now. Let's blow the whistle on them.
Please sprinkle me. Because people don't understand.
Sprinkle me, man.
Because people don't understand the greatness of Sprinkle Me. And so I need, it to be like, water. Dollar. Cameron, you old enough to know about Sprinkle Me.
But you said Bay Area. I'm from
not from the Bay.
New York. I'm not
y'all
from the Bay.
disrespectful New Yorkers, I swear to God.
Go over here.
All right. East Coast, West Coast beef, relax.
So disrespectful.
I didn't expect you to go here. I just want to talk about the soundtrack.
Like, it didn't happen in New York, so.
Rod, I'm with you. The soundtrack. Didn't Kendrick executive produce a soundtrack the first time?
Yep.
And I don't know if he's involved this time, but that soundtrack is going to be fire.
Yes.
Maybe not. Maybe not this time. Let's,
The third thing. Executive produce, anyway.
I mean, yeah, I know, but,
The third thing. They had Tim's in the trailer. All right. So the third thing is this trailer reminded me so much of what I loved about the first movie is that Wakanda is very woman centric, and it is like, I don't know how it happened again, but when the trailer dropped, the Killmonger was right people came back from the dead and had that trending for a minute. And it was like so many people missed the point of the first movie, still thinking like he was some type of heroic man that was, choking old ladies out and stuff. Like
killing girlfriends.
Yeah, killing girlfriends.
He put his hands on every single woman that he came in contact with.
Hold on, I saw. Oh wow!
He sure did give hands to every lady.
Oh shit!
So seeing it,
just saying.
Hold up, I saw somebody defending him, saying they would have built a statue to her in Wakanda.
What?
I'm like, my man shot her. It wasn't even like I thought. It wasn't like she didn't. It wasn't like take this bullet from me or anything. He was like, nah. He was
like you're in my way.
Yeah.
The only Killmonger mural I want is the one of him smiling in the distance over a cotton field where white boys are getting whipped.
Yeah, that's
just
the one.
looking down like, yeah.
So, but yeah, this trailer being so like woman centric was exactly like par for the course. Exactly what I was hoping to see. Dora Milaje, the Angels, like they was just like, yes, y'all gonna get this part two. It wasn't a fluke in the whole first movie should be just called Listen to Women. Cause it was like, when is T'Challa gonna finally realize, oh yeah, y'all was right the whole time. I was tripping. Let's go ahead and help these people out in Oakland and stuff. So I love the energy of this trailer.
Excellent.
I love that too, cause I loved how it was like Wakanda Forever for so long. And then Black Panther comes like, just to let y'all know, we can do this. Like, one of my men was like, how they gonna do a Black Panther movie without Black Panther? And I'm like, all right, let's wait and see, But that, I second that emotion, Ryder. Because Nakia is right, from the gate. Put some respect on her name.
Yeah. I hope we don't see, we're going to see, you might see a fracture. I don't want to say fall of Wakanda. We might see some fracture happening.
Definitely going to be some tension.
Because it's happened in the book, so. Yeah. It might be happening in the trailer. I mean, Wakanda Forever to me also might imply something is going to break, and the forever is within the people, and then that's going to spread throughout the diaspora potentially.
Asgard, it's wherever it is, wherever the people are.
Oh, hey, don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
That vibranium, though. Can't go nowhere else.
I mean, the only reason
I don't think they have to go anywhere else. I think they will recover, but just like in the comics, there's going to be a lot because. Remember why Aneka started fighting everybody because when there was an absence of power, people started acting up.
Right.
Yep.
And she was like, so I think that's going to happen. Sure. And I still think I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to comment, but I'll leave y'all with this. I still think we're going to see Doom in the after credit scene some way.
Oh, I agree.
I heard the one that I heard was that Doom is going to kill T'Challa.
Ooh.
That would actually make sense if that's canon, and it actually, when I think about it, that would be an easy storytelling route.
What if it's like the assassin, and then at the end, like you said, they come back to Doom and like, good job, sir.
Yep. And remember, it was black people that brought Doom in because he pretended to be with their cause.
Yeah.
And so they were like, yeah, we're getting outside help. We're going to keep Wakanda for Wakandans. And he was feeding them intel and also basically surveilling. This is in Doom Wars, y'all.
Right.
For those who don't know what I'm talking about, in Doom Wars, he was surveilling all of Wakanda through the people who gave him access because they had lost confidence in their leader. Or
you're getting another Wakabi situation, y'all.
That's what I'm saying.
God.
So
and the only reason in the comics, the only reason Namor is able to really like catch them slipping is because they were fractured already. Like they was already in fighting. So that's canon and could make sense in the film.
Could.
And also why the Midnight Angels came to be. They were the Wetworks. Yep. They were the Wetworks crew because they can't do the real Wetworks from the comics. They ain't ready for that in Marvel. But they can do.
They were the Black Ops.
They were the Black Ops team. Yep. So she's probably been a Midnight Angel. We just haven't seen them as the fans.
Yep.
And like, listen, I can see stuff y'all can't see. I don't care if you all trying to take me out. I'm from Wakanda, and I'm telling you, there's a problem. So that would make sense.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Ben. I wanted to get Emann's take.
So look, recast T'Challa and all that good stuff. I'm still going into this movie with an open mind. I'm still going in to see what's actually there, despite whatever hesitations I still have. There are some things that I'm still kind of curious about, and I kind of wonder how they're going to address narratively. So for example, like what happened during the 5 years during the blip?
Yeah.
Are we going to see what happened? Because one thing to me that's kind of odd, if it's not addressed, is y'all lost that. Like to me, that made more sense with Queen Ramonda was like, I lost my whole family, because you did. Like at that point, you literally lost everyone. And I'm like, did y'all have a funeral then? Like, did y'all mourn everyone then? Is that when the mural went up? So maybe part of the time frame happens during the blip, because regardless of my feelings of, killing T'Challa potentially and so on and so forth, I always thought that if we were to have a collective mourning and stuff, narratively, it would have been great to do that during that time, because it wouldn't have felt like you're forcing it, wouldn't feel like you're doubling down on the death. Like it literally happened and Wakanda mourned. So for me, I just kind of wonder if they'll address that time period, because it was a significant period for Wakanda. Half of the people are gone. The whole world is unstable. So I do wonder if maybe we get like some time jumps or something. And I couldn't piece that from the trailer. So I am looking forward to the next trailer to see if maybe we get some more inferences on the time and setting. But overall, I mean, like, look, I think that this movie is going to make $1 billion. I don't think that's a question. I think people are going to show up, show out. I think
we're going to help it make $1 billion.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's going to, do kind of like what the other one did. Now, the only question I do have is, are people going to watch it on repeat? Because unlike the first one, this one has a lot more heavy material. Like the first one was kind of like, oh my God, action flick, celebratory, yay. But this one's like deep emotions and maybe celebration towards the end.
Because like Ryan was saying, we don't know how heavy, and that could also be a very small portion of it. And then there's more stuff going on. So,
possible. Yeah.
But I think but towards your point of what you're about to say about, the replayability of it, the rewatchability of it, that just might be based on the story itself, right? Like, like the first Black Panther, that was the intro. That was, we've been waiting for this my whole life type situation. Whereas now, okay, you have it. Do you still have that same energy?
It's also a pandemic, and we have Disney Plus, so people sometimes don't feel pressure to go to the box office.
I hate that short window.
You're gonna see it.
There's something else I just thought of, and I'm clutching my pearls and trying not to get emotional. But if Emmanuel, if you're right, and they're showing what we think they're showing, which is her losing T'Challa in the blip, this means between the first movie and the second movie, she's lost her child 3 times.
Listen, that's what I kind of have been petitioning not to do.
Not okay. Because she lost him. She thought she lost him in the first movie.
Over the waterfalls.
Right. Then she did lose him in the blip. And she's going to lose it for real.
Right. Woo! That's why I'm like, look, if y'all going to kill it, look, at least do it when it already happened. Because if we going to kill him 3 times, oof, that to me is just going to hurt.
But we saw him. The thing is, we saw him come back in Endgame.
We did.
That's what I'm saying. Like, timeline wise, it might be exactly what you said, Emann. It might just be the period we're seeing is after the blip.
I hope so, because I think there's so much more material and unexplored narrative that could be explored there. I mean, quick prop to my channel. I just dropped a blip theory, about what it might look like if they were to take place during that time frame. Because I mean, we don't know nothing about Atlantis. They've been asleep all this time, and who knows what type of instability was going on as well. Go ahead.
That'd be interesting, but then that would just also lead to the problem Marvel keeps having is like if this takes place during the blip and no one's mentioned the shit that happened, like that would. It's the same thing with like Eternals where there's a thing in it. Like I'm hoping that the Celestial it ties into why Atlantis is acting up right now. Because
that it fucked up their water. Well, yeah, that
would. Because it's like otherwise all these major things keep happening and then people don't even talk about them.
I don't like that.
There's a celestial in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
I think I think there is a way that they could tie it up. Remember in Endgame when Okoye was in the room with Captain Marvel and Earthquakes, and they were talking about Earthquakes, and I'm like, this is an odd conversation to be having. And then I was like, oh,
I thought
Namor.
Yeah, we all thought that was Namor.
I'm saying when I first heard it. So
yeah, we did too.
I'm just saying. But my thing is that if that is during the blip, and we could somehow say that thing that it was in the ocean was that
earthquake was the celestial.
Yeah.
Right. If we can somehow say that, maybe we can acknowledge it. I don't know if the math works though.
I'm gonna be honest. Even if they never address it, I'm good. It don't matter.
This shit just happened during the blip and fuck it.
This shit don't matter. Like this shit not that important. It's like when Spider-Man fighting somebody in New York and then it's like Tony Stark don't show up. It's like it's all good. Sometimes he don't show up.
I get it.
I was just thinking the fact that like Wakanda is very, very good at keeping secrets. They don't. I mean,
this shit could have all happened under the dome and nobody knows.
I'm thinking like, they could have a whole underwater battle with Namor and all of them. And when it's all settled and done, and we catch up to Endgame, they'd be like, "Hey, that was just an earthquake. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We don't deal with it."
That
seems very
Wakanda-ish. All of us been reading comic books. It's just a comic book problem.
Yeah.
It's just what happens when you have 57 writers. So I gotta raise the stakes. Venom gotta take over New York, and I don't know. I'm gonna put a little thing at the box in the beginning. This happened when the Avengers was off Earth. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Don't ask me no questions. Yeah. Read this footnote.
And you reading the Avengers issues, and they sitting at home in New York, and you're like, but wait.
I will say though, I do hope at least for this film that it does kind of also give us the springboard for the other stuff. So Riri's show. The Wakanda series. We don't know exactly what it is. Ryan Coogler's already signed I think it was like a 5-series deal or something crazy like that. So but he's executive producing a bunch of Wakanda shows. So maybe we get the Midnight Angels. Maybe we get the Okoye series.
I hadn't heard like any updates on it. Like
there's nothing else outside of the fact that
it's still it is actually. So he did sign a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's supposedly an Okoye series, maybe a Midnight Angel series.
All those things are when you in production. Who knows if it will ever actually happen?
Yeah. But I will say this: I have it on good authority and can't say how that Riri is going to play a huge role in this film,
for sure.
And it's going to directly lead to her story.
Oh yeah, we know that.
So I don't think that there's but he mentioned Riri, so I don't think there's a question.
Oh no, not Riri. I was more worried about the World of Wakanda series. Because Riri she good. That girl about to be.
I don't know if it's going to be a series just about Wakanda. I think it'll be Wakanda related stuff. So it might even take place of like back in time. Like here's another Black Panther from the 1st century. Something,
Zuri, or they got. Listen, there's 16 of them.
I got my money on Bashanga.
Also, I don't put nothing past Kevin Feige and them. They fuck around had an X-Men show up in this shit. I don't know what they gonna.
I mean, the word mutant is real now.
We already got mutants. Yeah.
They just be doing shit sometimes. Like, yo, watch this. It's gonna fuck with everybody.
I mean,
do that Usher.
It happened with Miss Marvel. It happened with Miss Marvel. Speaking with Bisha, she explained that whole thing about mutant, that wasn't part of nothing. Like Kevin Feige just walked in one day and said, "Hey niggas, y'all know what'd be fun?" And here we
literally
are.
threw that in there.
That shit killed me. Literally. Like I'm like, cause that one is like one of the things. Was he like driving to work today and was like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make Miss Marvel a mutant today, or was that like a long-term plan?
That's kind of something I've been trying to explain to people though.
But how long was it?
Wait. This man got a long history. Okay, so it's been a long-term plan. But as far as when he decides, let's say fuck it, and that's what I'm saying. That's the power he has. Like,
I want to know how long.
This is not DC. Sorry.
They said
the
the directors from Ms. Marvel said that they had like basically the script written before COVID. COVID, and then it wasn't until a couple months into shooting that he was
That's
just like,
what I'm saying. Like,
mutants. Go ahead and say it.
The Miss Marvel script went through a lot.
What I'm saying is there's a bid plan, but making Miss Marvel a mutant isn't something that's going to change the bid plan. So
that's
he
the point why you can do it. That's why I'm saying.
He could have been driving to work that morning and be like, you know what? I'm going to fuck this woman's head up.
I mean, let's not forget, he the only one that got the plan. Right?
Because, that's what I mean.
You know, I'm finna pull a Ron real quick. I interviewed Kate Herron, for Loki. And I was sitting here digging at her like, yo, but do you know this? She was like, I don't know nothing.
Nothing.
Kevin didn't tell us nothing.
And that's on purpose.
Yeah. He keeps them in silos. And only some of the producers know certain things, and they usher individual projects. But even at the end of the day, only Kevin knows what's going to happen with everything.
Movie we didn't like.
Yeah, I know y'all didn't like the movie, but when that motherfucking X-Men theme started playing in Multiverse of Madness, and Professor X wheeled out there, it was like
it went hard.
It was hard as fucking that. It was like
that shit went hard.
Nigga, when dumbass Reed Richards showed up, that shit went hard as fuck.
Like, you just never know. That's why we see these movies. You just never know. It's a beautiful teaser. I take nothing from it. It means nothing to me except that Black Panther's coming out. I don't know what y'all gonna do. I can't wait to see it.
Sidebar: I like Multiverse of Madness better than I did Love and Thunder, but
that's fair.
I mean, that's not.
Well, I feel like that's how it's gonna be from now on. It's gonna be like
you on that.
You think you don't like a movie, then the next one come out, you be like, actually, I don't like. And then when Ant-Man come out, it's gonna be like, maybe Love and Thunder wasn't bad. So
no,
Love and Thunder was mid. So
they be doing
that's another
like
conversation, though.
It's a low bar.
I want to say though, thank you to everybody here and everyone who thank you to Stephanie Williams, thank you to Ron of POC Culture, and thank you to the team here for your candor, for your thoughts, for your love, for your hate as well as sometimes. But I'm just kidding. There's no hate here. It is all love and good tidings here. Emann, can you please let people know where they could find you? Where they can talk to you more to you about and all the cool stuff you're about to be doing.
Sure. Hey, Emann's movie reviews on YouTube or at Emann's reviews on all the socials. If anybody is still curious about Recast T'Challa, change.org/Recast T'Challa. I just ask people to hold us accountable to what's on the petition. I don't control random people on Twitter. I don't condone terrible behavior, so please don't be like, Emann, let them. No. Emann don't control that. I only control what was on the sign, on the petition. That's it. You don't like it, I respectfully, I respect that, and we can move it on, keep it moving. But outside of that, come on through to the YouTube channel every Friday at 8 Eastern. We do a live show. We recap the news from the week. We have a fantastic time doing it. It's a beautiful, fun community. So feel free to come and join the eFam and have a good time.
Excellent. The Blerd Gurl, Mama's got a book coming out amongst many other amazing things. Please let the people know where they can find you and all the cool things you are doing.
You can find me, the Blerd Gurl, TheBlerd, all over the interwebs. I'm a lot on Twitter.
Wait, say that again. You said that way too fast for people to get.
The Blerd Gurl. Sorry. TheBlerdGurl.
Yeah.
That's me, by the way. I found out there's a few other people out there that are getting dangerously close to my trademark. I'm gonna handle them. But you can find me usually on Twitter or actually TikTok and Instagram a lot these days. And I am a critic and a reviewer for The Wrap now. I don't know if I've said that, but I do that. And I'm also writing for a lot of other places. I usually put that out on Twitter. Please follow me, and also please pre-order my book, Protectors of Wakanda, The History and Training of the Dora Milaje. It is the origin story of the Dora Milaje. And for the 157th time, yes, Marvel asked me to write it. I didn't make it up.
You can't just. First of all, who the fuck says that? All right, you can't just write a Marvel book.
At least 6 times a day, I get some dude in my comments that's like, "But did Marvel let you do this?"
No, ma'am. And I'm sitting here with all of my limbs intact. I just fucking decided to do it.
Yeah, forget trademarks.
Mickey from the Block would beat your ass if you just decided to write something from Marvel and call it from Marvel.
They take our shirts down. Like, they're gonna let you get a book.
Emann, you had a note about something Cameron said.
Is that going to be available in audio as well?
Is it an audiobook?
I don't know yet. I have been told that it will, but I can't confirm yet.
Okay.
There's a lot of issues with the actual book because it's been pushed a couple of times because the paper shortage, because China is having real life.
Half the paper is blipped.
The paper blipped and it just came back. And but I am confirming that in August when the arcs show up. So as soon as I know, I will let everybody know.
Let me know.
Please let me know.
I just like audiobooks.
Yeah, I do too. And and there's a lot of, I have some blind followers who would also like the audiobook. So, but we will, please pre-order. If you click the link in my bio on Twitter or Instagram, actually any of them. Yes, you can buy it from Amazon or Barnes & Nobles, but there's also a list of Black bookstores you can buy it from. So please support your local Black bookstore as well. Comes out September 20th, and I appreciate the support.
Thank you. And Rod, you sometimes live in New York and try out bacon, egg, and cheeses. And also do some sacrilege things like putting pineapple on pizza. But when you're not doing that please...
bomb.
Sacrilege.
So good.
Sacrilege. Both of you are going to hell.
Have y'all ever had pineapple and Canadian bacon on pizza at the same time? Oh, God.
I don't eat bacon.
Don't ever.
Fresh pineapple in Jamaica on pizza is so good.
Wait, in Jamaica, like the country Jamaica?
Yes.
Everything tastes better in Jamaica.
Everything tastes better outside of America.
You gotta get fresh pineapple and put it on your pizza.
Right.
So when you're not doing blasphemous shit,
when
you're not doing blasphemous shit like that,
what about some
are
yogurt?
you doing?
Put some yogurt on that hoe?
Yeah.
So good.
Pizza and ice cream.
Talking my language over here, homie.
As for me, man, you can find me Rodimus Prime on Twitter. The podcast I do with my wife is the Blackout Tips. It's a comedy show. We do it 5 days a week. And then you can also support us at GoFundMe/Recast Shuri. We're starting that today. It's not a change.org link because we scamming over here. We trying to make money off of ours. We're not just trying to actually get it done.
You are dumb.
But we got to get Letitia out of here at all costs.
I want to say I'm mad at Rod for that. I'm mad at Blerd Gurl for pointing out that the water goes up the damn mountain because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the reality. I'm ready for a little flooding, not a lot of flooding.
You're not ready for Noah's Ark? 2x2?
No. But yeah, thank y'all for being here. Yeah. And Emann, I'm not mad at you right now. I'm mad at some
now.
I was gonna say, what's my time?
Oh my goodness. All right.
Hey, it depends on how my mentions look when we get off.
Thank you to all of the fam for listening to us. This is Views from the 616 powered by For All Nerds. Make sure you are supporting us in a variety of ways, mainly on our Patreon, patreon.com/forallnerds, where every tier is a great tier. Only you and only you alone get special privileges if you're part of our Patreon, and you get free shit all the goddamn time. As long as we can get it, y'all gonna get it. You can also support us by buying our merch. Go to tpublic.com/stores/forallnerds. You see the great Rodimus Prime wearing one of our shirts, actually. Would you like to fuck around and find out? Our Miss Minutes tee. I am wearing our Views from the 616 logo tee. Benhameen is wearing because Black people are dead ass serious about their trademarks.
Dead ass. Beyonce don't play.
The shirt up for 25.2 minutes that was then blipped out of existence. And that happens sometimes.
This shirt not only blipped off this shirt ruined someone's whole account.
Yeah, like
their whole TeePublic. It wasn't ours, but someone else's TeePublic account This is a one of one, and it took minutes.
Yes.
Don't mess with the hive.
So that just goes to show you, we have these designs and a whole bunch of other cool designs up there, and we have more new ones coming pretty much every other month. So if you see something you really like, please get it right away, because you don't know who's going to blip it out of existence. Okay, again, tpublic.com/stores/4allnerds. Make sure you are following us on your favorite podcast platform at 4allnerds. At Views from 616, I'm at Tatiana King. Follow me on my socials for some thirst traps. Follow at DJ Benhameen for some DJ and some work he is doing and some writing that he is doing, amongst other things. And yes, follow us all over, because we have great content, great fun, great personality, I think, too, right?
Mm-hmm. Obviously.
So, yeah.
We really started off with more guests than we were ending with. That's different.
They got blipped.
All right.
We got to GoFundMe for them too, though.
Recast yours.